can't tell y'all? You tuning into the best morning show on the globe. It's Brad and Emery in the morning, y'all. LeBron or Jordan, either one when I'm performing. Crossover, buzzer beater and I'm scoring. Radom and Emery in the morning. Every play they on it. Every day I'm balling. Who's the coach? Who's the GOAT? Like Brady and Belichick, best show on the globe. And they embellish it. Y'all paying Ziffy, I'm Ken Griffey or maybe Mahomes. I stay in the zone, whether man to man or play in the zone. They can't stop me. Mayweather boxing, Curry with the shot, man. We just the best to be. Can we have our SB, please? This was meant to be. Every morning with Radom and Emery.
Yes, sir. You know the vibes. Brad Emery in the morning. Marques Bradham, Justin Emery.
Yo. What's up, man?
It's a great day.
Yo, same game gems over here.
Same
knocking
game.
them down.
Knocking them
Knocking them down.
It's a great day in the neighborhood.
It is a great day in the neighborhood. You didn't have to worry about watching your slow bleed on TV last night.
No.
No,
I took a night off. I couldn't. After Monday night. When I have a loss like that, I need a morning period. Usually I rebound pretty well because it's not. I mean, it seems like it happens to me almost every day. But like when I do lose and I have those days where like it comes down to one game, and for a significant amount, I have to have a morning period. I have to have a day where I don't think about it. But I might log in and be like, should I? But usually the answer is always no. Because I'm like, no, because I obsess over it. Like I said, I went to bed Monday night really, really upset.
Yeah. And
especially, like I said, it was just down 4 or 5 starters. Come on, man.
Like
that's inexcusable.
That was your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes. Yeah.
That was your Pittsburgh Steelers.
That really was. That really was.
Yeah,
It was. But at least with the Steelers, it was a quick death.
Yes.
You got your head chopped off.
Yeah, no, it was quick.
Chopped off in a minute. Mine was a slow bleed out. Like I got stabbed with a butter knife about 4,000 times.
Yeah, you did.
So.
But same game gems over here knocking them down.
There you go.
Knocking them down. 1996.
1996.
Okay.
16-year-old Bradham.
Okay. 7-year-old right here. 7. 16?
16 years old.
Now, you've seen Terminator, correct?
I have, yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, 1996, man beats Skynet. IBM, Deep Blue. You familiar with what IBM's Deep Blue machine is?
No.
It's a chess machine. So it's one of those supercomputers that plays chess.
Okay.
Okay. Undefeated against humans prior to this. Nope. Not that day. Not that day.
Wasn't his day.
Gary Kasparov defeats him 4-2.
Wow. Look at Kasparov.
However, in a much publicized rematch, Deep Blue gave him the business the following year.
Deep Blue came back and said,
We're
not playing.
Well, what they did is the IBM, what their AI and software department did was saw after watching it, had it learn what it did to lose, and now it's a computer. It doesn't forget anything. Gotcha. So therefore, it learned its mistakes while retaining all of its other skills.
Wow. Do you play chess?
I mean, I know how to play. Yeah. I wouldn't say I used when I first got the iPhone. Okay, I was late to like a lot of the crazier games.
Yeah.
So all I would do is play chess and Angry Birds. For I'm saying I would for hours on end I would just play chess and Angry Birds. So I know I can play chess. I know how to play chess. I would not consider myself a grand chess player or anything like that. Now I'll tell you where I do excel greatly at chess is when I go to the bar and I see all the hammered guys playing the full size chess boards.
The big boards, yeah.
And because I'm just not hammered and they are. So I can move pieces around within the board.
I had a gift my uncle got me. It was a chess teacher. It literally was a board, and each piece had a description and how you're supposed to use the pieces. So I taught myself how to play chess.
Nice.
Not saying I'm great, but I can do it if I need to do it.
Yeah, no, I can sit down.
But I mean, listen, let's be honest. Chess is to me I feel like checkers is a more fun game. I feel like if I had to play the two, I want to play checkers. I think it's just more fun.
See, I'd rather play chess.
Well, chess is just too slow for me.
See,
I want action.
Yeah, here's what it is. You're playing with the wrong people because at least the games that I play chess.
Well, have you seen the guys that do the speed chess? I like that. Like where you have to bing hit the button and you're just going. Like you don't have time. I can't do the 3-4 hours.
I don't have patience for that because what I'll do is I'll walk away from the game.
Yeah.
Like if it's taking too long, I'll quit.
We had a guy in my old neighborhood in the city. What was his name? Mr. Edward. Mr. Edward and Mr. Julius would sit at the end of the block.
I was just sitting there with the board game.
With the board, chess game.
Chess.
And this game would last for like 7 hours. Like literally, we would ride our bikes up and down the street, went around, and these two were still
just playing chess.
Just playing chess, and it's just, I respect that. That's just not for me. Like with my ADD, I'm flipping that board and going to do something else. I don't have time for that. But it's weird because there's other games. I'm in for the long haul.
Like
I'll
what?
sit.
Give me one of them.
So, listen, I will say right now and on record, and a lot of people out there, you won't believe me, but this is an actual fact. I am undefeated in the game Monopoly.
See me right now.
You don't want the smoke.
No, you don't understand. Look, I want you to. You see this? What app is this right here?
Monop?
What app is that at the bottom?
It's Monopoly.
Okay, I play a minimum of 3 games of Monopoly per day on my phone.
Really?
Yes. See me.
Bro, Monopoly, I am an absolute bloodthirsty savage.
See me.
I've made grown people cry.
We will have to video stream this game.
Monopoly 1-on-1, you can't really.
No. We'll have to fill it out.
Yeah, you need to have a couple people because I don't know how you play, but like for me, there's like serious strategies, negotiations. Like I'm unorthodox, but I get the job done. I always leave happy. I always get my deals.
Here's the thing, I'm just taking your soul right out of the gate. Like it's how do you describe it as the Kansas City Chiefs offense? Is not how you score. That's what's going to. I'm just coming for you. I'm taking everybody.
Yeah, I have.
Because here's the thing, Monopoly is not supposed to take a long time. If you play with people that know how to, that have good strategy, and you know all the full rules of the game, the game goes quickly.
Yeah.
There's no, Monopoly doesn't have to take 3, 4, 5 hours. You can knock a game of Monopoly out in 45 minutes to an hour if you have the right amount of people, people playing.
I remember my cousins, this is years ago when we were in Maryland. We played a Monopoly game lasted 3 days. It was 3 days because they refused to quit, and there was no way in the world they were gonna. They got so upset with me because they were trying to gang up on me, and I still beat them both, and they had no options. But I could keep them. But sometimes with me, I like to torture people. I don't want you to lose yet. I know I got you on the hook, but I want this to bleed out forever. I want you to die a slow, miserable, disgusting, sad death.
Nope, not me.
That's how I feel about Monopoly. I want you to suffer for a little bit.
I'm knocking people out as quick as I can. And then when I get down, because you don't want to play with more than 4 people. I know you can play with more than 4 people.
I don't want more.
But I'm not playing with more than 4 people. But here's what I do. I try to knock the first 2 out as quick as I can, and then I like to play with my food before I eat it.
So
the last person.
People get upset with me because I'm a deal man, and I make deals with people that they think is good for them, but it's really not good for them. I make incredible deals, and I'll find usually when I'm playing, I'll find the weakest minded person, and I'll just take advantage of them. And then other people no, don't do it, no, and I'm don't listen to them. We got something going on here, and then I just use them as my pawn until I could just snap their neck.
See, here's what it is. I have my strategy that I use.
Yeah.
That's undeterred, and you're not going to stop it.
I kind of feel the same way about me.
Hey,
It'll be an interesting matchup. I have my certain properties that I buy that I know where I want to buy my properties. I know how to set my properties up. I have a system of math in my head that you have to land here. I know this. There's a spot on the board that I claim. I call it death row, where I know if you land here, I get these properties, you're done.
Yeah,
you're cooked. I can win on other properties. But if you let me get these properties and set up here, it's a wrap for you, like no matter what. Because I know, statistically speaking, I've played the game enough that you were going to land on these properties.
Yeah.
I know you're going to land here. It's happening.
I agree.
So, yeah, that'll be fun. We got to do a Monopoly night.
We got to set
I
it
don't
up.
know. We have to find some because Amber won't do it with me anymore because she'll get mad. So we have to find some people that have more. I think I have some buddies we can do a Monopoly night and have like a nice game of Monopoly here.
Here's what it is. I have an NFL Monopoly board that we'll use for it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like it. I like a little NFL Monopoly.
Yeah, we'll break out an NFL Monopoly board for it.
So, are you done with your dates and stuff? Are you done with your history?
Oh yeah, I mean,
shame on you. Are you really done? Is this serious?
Yeah, well,
we might have to end the show right now.
Well, if it's not on the History Channel, then yeah, I'm done.
Bro, do you know what today is?
Wednesday.
February 17th.
Okay.
1963.
Okay.
Today is the birth of my GOAT. Today is the birthday, back in Brooklyn, New York, of the GOAT, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Was born on this beautiful day.
What day? What year?
1963. See, I even came dressed for the occasion. Look at me. Look at this. You see this?
Oh, you did.
I dressed up for the occasion.
Well, I apologize to
It's okay.
to Michael Jordan.
It's all right.
However, I pull all my facts from.
I can't believe it's not on the History Channel.
Not on the history list.
I'm upset with them.
Yeah.
Shame on them. They should know better. Unbelievable. Yeah. So I picked. So listen.
But we all know the birthday of the real GOAT.
Stop it.
December.
Stop.
Moving on.
In honor of my GOAT, I want to play two clips for you. First of all, I want to play one of my favorite commercials of all time from the GOAT. And I want you kids out here to listen to this because it's a very, very important message. This is one of my favorite. This is one of the last Jordan commercials when he was playing. And this is definitely one of my favorites.
I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
That's right, GOAT. That is why you succeed. You hear that, kids out there? And you know what? You know what I want to listen to that message? The media. The local media. That's what you should listen to.
Fired.
That's what you should listen to that message. Sometimes you're going to fail, but you hear what the GOAT said? He said he succeeds because he failed. It's okay to say, I was wrong. Carson Wentz is still a Philadelphia Eagle, people. Where are we on now? Let me get to the calendar here. So it's the 17th. Let's go back to it was broke the 7th. So now we're 10 days in to when Carson Wentz was supposed to be traded, and yet he's still here.
Mm-hmm.
There will be this will be an ongoing tally of how many days he remains here after he was supposed to be traded within days. And now another report's coming out today that the other teams are now waiting for the shoe to drop with Carson Wentz, and that's why things are stalling. Okay. Anyway, now clip number 2 from my GOAT is him discussing. This is from The Last Dance. This is my favorite excerpt of The Last Dance. The GOAT gets a little emotional here at the end of this because he's talking about the relationship with his teammates, the way he played, the way he's perceived. So this is my GOAT talking about the team and winning.
Nice guy. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, winning has a price. And leadership has a price. So I pulled people along when they didn't want to be pulled. I challenge people when they don't want to be challenged. And I earned that right because my teammates came after me. They didn't endure all the things that I endured.
Michael Jordan is down in pain. Michael Jordan got taken out. He's hurt. And Jordan came down hard and is injured. Well, the Pistons have moved on, but you really got to feel for this man right here to be playing his heart out.
Once you join the team, you live at a certain standard that I played the game. And I wasn't going to take any less. Now, that means I had to go in there and get in your ass a little bit, and I did that. You ask all my teammates, one thing about Michael Jordan was he never asked me to do something that he didn't do. When people see this, they're going to say, well, he wasn't really a nice guy. He may have been a tyrant. Oh, well, that's you, because you never wanted anything. I wanted to win, but I wanted them to win and be a part of that as well. Look, I don't have to do this. I'm only doing it because it is who I am. That's how I played the game. That was my mentality. If you don't want to play that way, don't play that way. Break.
My GOAT. Speaking facts. Leadership comes with a price. Winning comes with a price. I would never ask you to do something that I would not do myself. Do you hear that out there, kids? It's very, very important stuff. Just want to take this moment to acknowledge Michael Jeffrey Jordan, the GOAT. That's it. Cut.
All right, then.
So, since we're talking along those lines about Jordan, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because this kind of fits in what we're talking about now.
Okay.
So, Hoop Magazine on Twitter a couple weeks ago,
Oh, I saw this.
they released their most influential players.
Yeah.
We need to talk about this
All
because
right.
this upset me a little bit because here's the problem.
What are
Is
the
that-
parameters?
Influential to me.
No,
or
I'm saying like what did they list as their parameters?
They didn't
Was
really
it the last 30 years? Or the
didn't-
last
Yeah, I mean the guys in there was last 30. You would say last
30 years? Okay.
35 years. Now, the thing is, to me, I think sometimes people confuse a couple
Influential.
things. They confuse influential with greatest. They also confuse. People also sometimes confuse their favorite with the greatest. Also, like you can have a favorite. Like if you ask me who my favorite rapper is of all time, it's gonna be very different. It's gonna be different than who I say is the greatest rapper of all time. There's
Right.
a different parameter. I have a favorite rapper list and a greatest rappers list. Sometimes they intertwine, sometimes they don't. Just like I have a favorite basketball player list and a greatest basketball player list. Sometimes they intertwine, sometimes they don't. When it comes to influential, to me, let's take the root of that word, influence. What is your influence on the game? How have you impacted the game? What is being felt that was being felt before, still being felt now? That to me that's influence to me. So
how many did they give? 4 or 5?
we got 4.
Okay. Before you say the list,
Mm-hmm.
I want to get what your 4 would be.
I'm gonna give you 3 because I agree with these. I agree with 3 of the 4 on this list.
Okay.
I don't agree with one of them.
Okay.
So I'll give you the 3 I agree with. The 3 I agree with is Jordan. I
Okay,
think
yeah.
the idea of Jordan's impact is we don't really need to
We don't need
discuss
to.
it.
Yeah, we don't need to debate
Like
that.
I mean, the things that he's influenced is
Yeah,
it's
we don't need to.
unparalleled.
We don't need to debate
Kobe
that.
Bryant.
Yeah. We don't
Kobe
need to-
Bryant is another one where Kobe affected an entire generation of players. You saw the impact when he passed, and all the different guys. Like Kobe was the generation after me, Jordan. Like if you're 5 years younger than me, Kobe's your guy and Kobe's your Jordan. Steph Curry, I believe it belongs on this list because Steph Curry has impacted the game. Now, we haven't seen his full impact because there are still guys that are still guys that are in that Steph Curry generation where they're going to come out later on. But you see the Trae Youngs, the way he plays the game.
Yeah.
The Buddy Hields. Even guys play with him, his peers. Dame Lillard. Look how he changed his game to more. Dame Lillard wasn't shooting 40-foot threes, 5 years ago. He started doing that because of Steph and understanding the impact that has and how it forces the defense to change the way it plays you. And like Steph Curry's made jump shooting cool. Like I don't know if it was necessarily. I don't know. Like those guys were respected. People, great shooters. But Steph Curry made it cool to be a really good shooter. I don't know if that was cool. Like let's be honest, in basketball, the coolest guys were the most athletic. The guys who could play above the rim.
Yeah.
Steph Curry's not an above the rim guy.
No.
He's a shooter. But he made that cool. He made that marketable. It's marketable to shoot. I mean, he is that to me is influence. That's a major influence. So the last guy on this list is LeBron James. And while LeBron James to me is one of the greatest to ever do it, cannot be disputed. No, cannot be disputed. I don't put him on the influential list. I don't believe because LeBron James, and this is actually a compliment to him. LeBron James is such a freak of an athlete. How can you say, "Hey, go out there and do that. Go be LeBron"? You can't tell a kid to play his game like LeBron because odds are 99.9% of people cannot play a game like LeBron James.
There's only one guy who's come along that can do it like that so far, and it's Zion, apparently.
Right. And Ben Simmons has attributes that you could compare to it, but I would agree with you that Zion looks to be the Zion's a freak also. I don't know if Ben Simmons is a freak. Ben Simmons plays the game like LeBron does, but I don't know if he has the athletic ability that LeBron had coming into the league. Yeah. Where Zion Williamson matches that attribute.
Yeah.
Like I remember, I'm in my head right now as I'm talking about this. I remember when Zion was in college, and they're playing Virginia on the road, and I'm telling you right now, my man was behind the three about here. Zion is in the paint. Okay, he's in the paint. He takes about 3 steps and jumps and blocks my man's shot and sends it 4 rows out. It was disturbing. Like, even the idea of, like, when Zion ripped his shoe in half, that was insane. Like, Zion is a Paul Bunyan-esque figure.
Yeah.
Like, that's how LeBron is. LeBron's, like, a legendary athletic figure. You can't tell people to go out there and do that. You can tell people to work like Jordan, work like Kobe, practice their fundamentals, practice their footwork. You might not have the less, but you can monitor your game after them. Steph Curry, go out there and shoot and be the best shooter you can be. You can tell people to work on your handle. You can tell people to do that. Now, here's the guy that's missing. And, like, I don't understand how you have a most influential past 30 years list and not have Allen Iverson on your list. Like that to me is absurd. Allen Iverson, to me, is right behind Jordan and influential. Allen Iverson's impact on the game of basketball is measured on the court and off the court. Allen Iverson is another guy that guys in that generation grew up wanting to play like, be like, because what was Allen Iverson? Allen Iverson was built like the average American. He was 6 foot, just under 200 pounds. Like you look at him. Like I remember like going and watching the Sixers in that era and just marveling about how Allen Iverson did not look like he belonged anywhere on that court. But you get the ball in his hand, and he was just magical. You take that also off the court. The way Allen Iverson talked, the way he dressed, the cornrows, like the hip-hop. Like Allen Iverson crawled so a lot of these NBA players today could walk. The way he dressed, the way he talked, him bringing hip-hop into the forefront of the NBA, all of that stuff. They had to put in rules for AI. The dress code happened basically because of Allen Iverson. The zone defense happened because of Allen Iverson. Too many coaches complaining about the fact that, this man out here on the island breaking us down, what can we do about this? The NBA was anti-zone for years. All of a sudden, after AI's MVP year, what do we get? We get zone defense. Coincidence? I don't think so. Allen Iverson was so influential. He was so influential. He had men, grown men and women wearing Reeboks. When was Reeboks ever cool before AI?
Never.
I have not owned a pair of Reeboks after AI or before AI. I never would. But I had me some questions. I had me the All-Star AIs from the MVP year. The only time I ever strayed away from the Nike game for basketball sneakers was 2 times. It was for Allen Iverson and Tracy McGrady. That's it. But AI, like, he made Reeboks a thing, an actual thing. That's absolutely insane to be that influential. Did you have people walking around wearing a shoe they would never wear, other than because you wear them and you told me, yo, this is it. You need to wear these. That's insane. So again, I think that we get confused influential and great. While LeBron is one of the greatest to ever do it, I don't think he belongs on this list because I don't believe that I don't see his like a LeBron influence of that style and that magnitude. Like with Jordan, Kobe, Steph. I don't see it.
There's a lot to take away from that. And very similar to Draymond yesterday, I agree with almost everything you said.
98%?
98%.
That's a good percent. I'll take it.
Okay. So this list had only 4 players on it. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm forcing the list to have 5 players on it.
Okay.
And I'm going with all 5 of those guys.
Okay.
Those are the top 5. Would you agree if it was a 5th position, you would put LeBron on there?
No. I could because
all right, well, let me make my case. Let me make my case for
and then I'll come back with who I think should be 5th.
So
actually, I have a 5 and a 6. Really?
No.
No.
If
you go top 10, maybe I go LeBron in there, but I don't think he's 5.
Yeah.
But I have an argument for 5. But go ahead.
Now number 1 is Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, like you said, is Iverson.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, I would go Kobe, because while the '92 Dream Team and all that really made the NBA truly it was international before that, but that put it
yeah, absolutely.
But Jordan, while he liked the international fame, he never really embraced it like Kobe did.
I agree.
Kobe was like. They said that during the Olympics in, I believe it was 2008.
The Redeem Team.
Yeah, the Redeem Team.
Mm-hmm.
They said that Kobe was more popular in, where was it, Beijing?
Beijing, yeah.
Yeah, they said Kobe was more popular in Beijing than Yao Ming was.
Well, Kobe also, too, to your point, is more cultured individual than Jordan. Kobe lived part of his life in Italy.
He could speak multiple languages.
He speaks multiple languages. Kobe's always... So Kobe was a perfect global star, like a perfect guy to have that. Like Jordan, I think may have been a little uncomfortable with it because it was something that was so like when Jordan was over in '92. I think Jordan didn't understand like how do all these people even know who I am. Like I remember the clip where I think from the Dream Team documentary where he walks past his huge life poster of him, and he's like, "What does that do?" Like I think it was a lot. It was very new. Where Kobe was just used to the international spotlight.
Also, Jordan really didn't care much about. I mean, he cared the financial things that, the business side of basketball. But Kobe, he was in those business meetings.
Yes.
I don't believe Jordan was necessarily always in those meeting meetings. Yeah, exactly.
He trusted David Falk big time with his business, and he had a circle that he could trust to handle a lot of that stuff. Yeah.
So, like I said, Kobe's more hands-on with that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So I think that just like you said, David Stern the other day had blown up what the NBA has done globally. Mm-hmm. Same thing with it was hand in hand with Kobe. Once the season was over, he'd go over to China and just do basketball camps for a month.
Right.
Number 4, Steph Curry.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you said, I mean, he made the 30-foot shot a thing.
Yeah.
And now,
do you remember how? Think about how weird it was. 6-7 years ago to watch a guy pull up from 30.
Oh,
Like, you would
I
be like,
remember
what?
You used to see him just shooting from so far and he was making. I'd be like, all right.
Yeah, do you remember the Saturday night, the game that really I think put him on the map nationally? They were playing Oklahoma City on a Saturday night, and it was like the last minute of the game. He pulls up, and the defender, I forget who was defending him. I'm gonna say Westbrook. That makes sense. Was not within 5 feet of him because it looked like a ridiculous shot. And Curry pulls up from basically around the same
parking lot.
Like
he pulled up from the parking lot.
Yeah, like the logo, and drains it. And you're just like, what? That didn't even that didn't even make sense. Like, huh?
And then number 5, LeBron.
Okay.
Because really, before LeBron, the players had no real power within the league. LeBron changed the entire dynamic that players are in control of their own outcome when it comes to free agency and all that. It was a huge player empowerment that started with LeBron. Like, LeBron reshaped NBA free agency.
Yeah, I mean,
he doesn't have the same influence as, the fans don't feel the same influence as the players feel the influence that LeBron had. LeBron's influence was much
more behind the scenes.
Yes, much more. I don't even know if really behind the scenes because
his business stuff as far as the free agent stuff. I mean behind the scenes with the players, like more.
Yes,
yeah.
like his influence is. I bet you he has done more for the players than. I mean, I don't know what these other guys have. I'm just like, I would assume that you could say he has more influence in things that have happened for the players than Steph Curry has.
Oh, by far. Yeah.
Who I don't maybe Kobe. I don't know. Kobe's had a lot done.
You
for
can
the
have that
players.
same kind of argument with Iverson.
Yes.
That similar argument with like the impact on the actual player and the breakdown of the player. Jordan was more people ate because of him. Like, because of the things that he set and the parameters he set, people, like, the players ate and benefited off of the giant leap the NBA took in the 90s because of Jordan and his overwhelming popularity. There's one name I want to throw into this, though, that needs to enter the chat. I think if we're going to talk about influential people, and we'll do it on the other side.
Okay.
We'll do that. I'm going to bring this name up because I think it's a very important name to bring up.
Love it.
Remember, today is our Friday, so we have Hockey or Null today, and we also have breakfast bars. Brad Emery in the morning, Marcus Brown, Justin Emery. We'll be right back.
Everybody, I want to tell you about our newest sponsor, Beef Jerky Outlet in Langhorne at 110 Lincoln Highway, right there at the corner of Lincoln Highway and Oxford Valley Road, right up in Langhorne. Check them out online. That website, beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne. Give them a call, 267-202-6564. Use promo code BREMY on your order. Promo code BREMY, BREMMY, for 10% off your order. Or shoot up to the store. Have Michael and Sharon take care of you. It is the best beef jerky. You hear Marcus and I eating it all the time on the show. That promo code again is BREMY, BREMMY, for 10% off your order.
Hi, I'm Marcus Brown. I'm here to talk to you today about Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality gourmet ice cream and sorbet. Made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available, Uncle Mike features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road in Warminster. It's open all year round, serving you happiness one scoop at a time. Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys today about my friends at Amy's Pizza. Amy's has a plethora of pizza for your munching pleasure, specialty pizzas such as Hawaiian, margarita, taco, and plenty more. If it's sandwiches you're into, they've got those too. Cheesesteaks, burgers, hoagies, even gyros. Amy's offers pickup and takeout options, but they are also available on Grubhub. Amy's is located at 332 York Road in the heart of Hatboro. Call them at 215-957-1000. Again, that's 215-957-1000. Brad Emery in the morning, Marques Brown, Justin Emery. We are discussing the most influential NBA players, and we got AI on the list because he should have been there. I don't know why he was not on that list. So now we've expanded to 5. So now we're everything okay?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you at the break.
All right, oh boy. All right, so we've expanded the list to 5. Now you have LeBron on the list at number 5. So I have someone that we need to discuss that needs to enter the
Sure.
chat. I mean, 2 people really. If I was going to pick one of them, I don't know you can have a list about influential without this person. That's Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson.
Well, he didn't. Yes, but he doesn't really fall within the parameters that we set.
35 years. 35 years.
Well, we said 30, 1990. His influence is much before 1990.
Yeah, I mean.
So I mean, like
Yeah.
you're right. Like
Yeah,
if we're
I mean,
doing all time,
it's just hard. Yeah, it's just hard because like he literally, him and Larry Bird literally saved the NBA.
yes. No, I agree. It's just within the
Yeah, 30 years. Yeah,
So, you're doing 1990 to 2020, that 30-year span.
yeah,
Magic doesn't fall within that.
But
But,
you know what,
you
though?
bump,
I
you
don't
bump
know-
that out to
80?
1980 though.
yeah. I don't know that any. But you know what? I don't know that I would. Even if we went to 1960, this is still my list. Like I'm not putting anyone else on there other than Magic and maybe Larry Bird. I don't think like I'm not like I don't,
yeah, I agree.
I'm not doing Wilt.
No.
The
thing is-
me personally, like, and this is controversial for a lot of people. I believe Wilt Chamberlain is significantly overrated.
I have no opinion of that.
I believe. I
have no opinion. Like
my thing with Wilt Chamberlain is like I'm not saying he wasn't a great player, but
competition
like the
level.
average, the average guy in the NBA at that point was 6'5".
All right, I have another.
Like except for Bill Russell.
Well, I have a controversial take then. If we're giving out controversial old school NBA takes,
Okay.
I feel the same way about Bill Russell.
Well, I mean, listen.
Because he really, other than Wilt, there was no one that like those two were the top at the as far as a physical specimens then.
Right.
And his teams were stacked.
And
stacked.
right, yeah, you're
stacked.
talking Kuzi. I mean, and the thing about Bill Russell is Bill Russell was a phenomenal leader. That cannot be disputed. A phenomenal leader where, especially for being a black man, it was a very hard thing to do with everything going on in the world at that point and all the barriers he broke down. But that conversation has nothing to do with him actually on the court as a basketball player.
Yeah.
It's two separate things. We're not two-pocketing this conversation and putting all that in a blender. It doesn't. No, we don't. I hate that. As a basketball player, if you even look at his stats, they're not that great. Like, yeah, he won 9 chips, no question, 9 chips, bro. That's insane.
Didn't he have 11?
I thought it was 9.
I think it's 11.
One of us is wrong.
One of us is wrong. I'll look it
I
up.
thought it was 9, but you might be right. But well, wait. Did he win 9 as a player and 2 as a coach?
I have no
Is
idea.
that how it works?
I didn't even know he coached.
Yeah, he coached. He was a player coach for a couple years. But anyway, like when it comes to Bill Russell,
11-time NBA champion.
So was it 2 as a coach and 9 as a player? Or was it
No,
all,
as a player.
Okay.
11 times. He another 2.
So 13 total.
Wait, 68. I mean, do you count it if there's like he won it as a player and a coach? Do you
Yeah.
count that as 2 separate ones?
No, that's 1. You get 1.
So
Credit for one.
then it's just 11.
It's 11 total. Okay.
Because he has 2 as the coach, but he was also
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah. So like, but you look at his. I mean, you have his stats right there.
Yeah.
Give me some career stats of Bill Russell.
NBA career stats. Let's see. Games. What do you want?
Give me points per game. Give me points. I don't care about assists. Give me points, rebounds, blocks, career stats.
Okay. Points 15.
Okay.
Assists. Assist is 4.3.
Okay.
Now obviously he's going to have outrageous rebound averages because
What's the average?
22.5.
But again, the average guy in the NBA is 6'5".
Yeah.
So like, I mean, 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". Like,
And he was how tall is he? He was I have it right. It's 6'10".
Like if we go big man, we have a big man conversation. And again, this is gonna be controversial. Like, neither one of those are my top 5 big men of all time.
Me neither.
Like, if I go, and I'm throwing no particular order, Shaq,
Yes.
Hakeem,
Yes.
Patrick Ewing,
Yes.
and this is, again, no particular order. I'm just throwing out names. Shaq, Patrick Ewing, Hakeem,
Kareem.
What else we got? Who am I missing?
I mean, like that's the big 4.
That's the threat. That's the Mount Rushmore to me of
Yeah.
big men, and I'm sure there's more I could think that we're skipping over.
I mean,
I don't put
where let me ask you this: where do you put Dwight Howard?
prime Dwight Howard. Prime Dwight Howard is a top 15 big man of all time. I mean, when his Orlando Magic days, good Lord.
Because
Like he was yeah. And the thing is, so like it's hard because it's just different eras. But is Wilt Chamberlain this dominant in the era of the 90s of the big man? You know what I mean? Is he this dominant?
oh, I know who we're missing. We're missing David Robinson.
David, the Admiral. Yeah, that's an important one.
Moses, if you want to
Moses
count.
Malone. We count Moses.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. Moses gets in yeah, absolutely. Moses was tough to deal with.
Are you counting Tim Duncan?
Yes, big fundamentals.
Well, no, but I'm saying some of these guys I'd pass off as a 4.
Well, he is a power forward.
You know, I would. You know, some. That's why I said.
But imagine
classifying?
if you had a guy like that in the league back then.
Yeah.
Like because Tim Duncan could guard 5s. He could do
Yeah.
that. So listen. Bill Russell actually more to me than Wilt Chamberlain is a little overrated. And the thing is, when people say overrated, people get offended because it means that we're saying they're not. They
Yeah,
weren't
that
good.
means that
That's
means
not
that we
what
say
I
we
mean.
suck.
I don't think he sucks. I just feel like we hold him in a higher regard than he actually really is. And a lot of it has, like, listen, 11 championships. That's a lot of championships. And if we credit,
at the same time, does that make like I really hate the argument that, and this is good. we're bothering a lot of people today.
Yeah.
With these takes, but is Vince Lombardi the greatest coach just because he won all those championships in like the 50s?
No.
I mean, everybody said.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Because I think but the thing about Vince Lombardi is he goes in the influential category. And like it
But a
doesn't mean
lot
he
of
wasn't
people
great.
say he's the best coach.
I'm not taking him over Bill Belichick. Are you kidding me?
I'm not.
I'm not taking him over Bill Parcells. I'm not doing that. I'm not taking him over Andy Reid. Like, you bring Vince Lombardi's game to today, he gets smashed 37-3.
Yes.
Like it's just the way he thought and taught was based on 60s personnel. The game has changed a lot and evolved, and he wouldn't make sense as a today coach. It's just that's I'm not taking him over Sean McVay today. Like, no.
Would you take him over Doug?
Yes. Yes, I would take a box of Kleenex over Doug Peterson. I would put a headset on a box of Kleenex and do my best over Doug.
That's just disrespectful.
Listen,
I'm here for it. I like it.
I'll
allow it.
You know, I've never been a Doug Peterson guy as far as anything. So, but yeah, so like I look at it like I don't know. I don't know. Like,
That's just not right. Like, you didn't have to do it like that to him.
yeah, I'll take a box of Yum Yums over Doug. I don't know. I just think when it comes to like people just want to put everything into one box, and you just can't do that in these type of conversations. And I'm sure, listen, there's gonna be some 65-year-old people out here really upset with the things we're saying.
Oh yeah.
But you gotta grow.
The living room is angry right now.
Yeah, you gotta grow. Yeah, because he's a major Wilt guy. Probably a Bill Russell guy too, but I know because he knew Wilt.
He knew him. Yeah.
He knew Wilt. He grew up with Wilt. I mean, listen, the stories of Wilt Chamberlain are phenomenal, but like you're playing against 6'3" white guys.
They were playing against plumbers.
Yeah, like even I mean the guys who are in the NBA. Like listen, if I lived in the '60s, I'd have made the league.
Oh yeah.
I'd have made the league. I'd have been dominant. I'd have been dominant in the league. In my chucks.
He would have been a 6-time All-Star.
Yeah.
You're the 6-time All-Star. You'd be a fringe Hall of Famer.
Easily. Come on, man. The league has just changed and evolved so much. Ridiculous.
Any player from the league today would be the best player in the league then.
Yeah, no
It doesn't matter. Pick whoever.
JaVale McGee.
Best player in the
Just
league.
playing in the league. Dominant.
Best player in the league.
Dominant. Because,
averaging 30 and 30.
Right. So, everything evolves, everything changes, everything grows.
Could you imagine LeBron playing in the 70s? He'd average 100 points.
170 and 70. That would be his stat line. And there are very few from that era.
That's what a big knock against the people that put LeBron over Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
A big knock against. Well, I don't know if knock's the right word, but is that Jordan was today's athlete playing then. The way that he worked out and took care of his body and all that. He was a today athlete back then.
He was, we talked about this before, he was one of the first guys to come into camp in shape and not, play himself into shape.
Yeah.
He came into camp game shape, game ready, and ready to go, day one.
So a lot of people say, now everybody trains like that in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So he would have he wouldn't have the same. There would be a much tougher level of competition, basically, because everybody.
Well, it would be tougher level of competition anyway. Again, what we've talked about, everything evolves and grows. There are better athletes. I would not dispute for 1 second that there are better athletes in the league today than 25, 30 years ago. There's no question. However, I would make an argument that the way the game was played 30 years ago was a better brand of basketball than today. I would make that argument. Okay. I wouldn't say the athletes are better, but I would say the game was better. And the game was played at a more fundamental. These guys today, they come in the league. I'm going to use a quote from someone else from the radio that I think is great. They're uncooked chicken. They're like half-baked chicken. You put it in the oven, and it looks good on the outside, and you take the knife and fork to it, and it's pink on the inside.
Right.
So, that's a lot of these guys come in the NBA like that, where guys came in the NBA 30 years ago ready to play and ready to go. And, they knew – you watch a game from the 80s and 90s, they're not missing 10-foot jump shots.
No,
a wide-open jump shot is going in the basket. That's just it. And, today, guys don't have those fundamentals because they can rely so much more on athleticism than they could 25, 30 years ago. But we're going to take a break, and when we come back – it's a big day, and I might feel a little warmer out there because of pitchers and catchers report today. So we're gonna get to that on the other side. Brad Mimmy in the morning, Marques Brown, Justin Emery, right back. Yeah, man. Brad Mim in the morning. Marcus Brown, just Emery.
Yo.
It always just feels lighter. The sun's shining. I know it's chilly outside, I'm sure, because it's wintertime. But you always feel lighter when you hear the words pitchers and catchers.
Yes.
Is there a more hopeful season than baseball? Like, baseball to me, baseball is the only sport where your team, your team is not that great, but going into the season, you still remain hopeful.
You want to know something funny? So I believe is it 538 that does all the playoff odds? Is that the site that does there's a site that does a lot of all the playoff odds, and they update it every game for every team.
Mm-hmm.
The Orioles have a 0.0% chance of making the playoffs. I've never seen a team with 0% before. Even the worst teams get like 0.001%.
0.0.
The 0.00% to make the playoffs.
But I bet you're still a little hopeful out there in Baltimore. Because
no, they're not. They know. They know. They're aware. They're aware.
But baseball is like one of those sports where for some reason always just breeds like optimism going into a season. Now, that could be over at the end of April, but like going into it, everyone's excited about opening day. Everyone's excited about the process of baseball. And I don't know if it's because baseball is a summer sport and okay, I'm this much closer to summer, and maybe that has something to do with it.
It has a lot to do with it.
But I feel like with baseball, like you always have that eternal hope that maybe this is a year. Maybe we get lucky. Maybe we get lightning in a bottle. Like, who saw the '93 Phillies coming?
Nobody.
Nobody saw that happening. Like, no one saw them being that good. They were, there's been so many teams. Like, there's been so many teams in Major League Baseball has been going from worst to first. It happens. And guys, like, baseball is a sport where team chemistry matters a lot. And if you have a close-knit group, you could pull off some things. Now, the Phillies are an interesting position this year because while we want them to make the playoffs, because we haven't had a playoff team since 2011, which is we're a decade in.
Yeah.
Can you believe we are a decade removed from the dominance of the 2000s Phillies?
It feels longer than that.
Like the last Philly, it feels like yesterday, the 1-0 loss to the Cardinals in the playoffs that year. It feels like yesterday watching Ryan Howard tear his Achilles. Like, it doesn't feel like this has been 10 years ago. Like, it's amazing to think that run, that 2007 to 2011 run was literally 10 years ago that ended. It's amazing. And, we're starving now for that kind of feeling again. And
we're cool with just making the playoffs.
For now, yeah. I just want to be a part of it. I want to be a part of it because the past couple years we've been teased.
You know what we need? The Red October back.
Red October.
We need Red October.
Yes, Red October was a vibe. Yeah, so the Phillies are in an interesting position because, like, everyone wants to make the playoffs, but this division, unlike back in that era, this division is stacked.
Yeah.
It is loaded.
Yeah, it is.
Because the Phillies aren't a bad team.
No.
They are, if you look at them in the paper, they look like a playoff team. However, this division is loaded. This is a stacked division. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe baseball is going to use the same format they used last year, correct, for the playoffs? Where they have
I don't know what to make of the baseball season right now. I'm not sure where they sit because the players were complaining about wanting to push back the start of spring training.
Yeah.
So the MLB made them an offer to push it back with a couple other concessions.
Mm-hmm.
And the players said no for some reason. I don't know why they would say no because the deal was much better for the players.
Right.
But they said no. And so basically MLB said, "All right, well screw you. We're going back to whatever we were planning on doing."
Right.
But there's been so many different offers pitched back and forth to each other that I'd be lying to you if I told you exactly what the terms were.
I'm pretty sure it's. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure it's the same format of
but
last
you don't
year.
even have to be a great team to make the baseball playoffs.
Now, yeah, but that's why I was so egregious. Phillies didn't make the playoffs last year, because literally it was almost like I feel like half of baseball made the playoffs. Like it
felt like that.
It was baseball playoffs became kind of a tournament, really, in a sense of things. You had a lot of teams, and the Phillies were in a great position 2 weeks left going into the season. It looked like they were going to make the playoffs. And the past 2 years, last year under Gabe, and then last year, they were both in great – I'm sorry, the past 3 years, both years under Gabe, they were in a good position to make the playoffs. They were a wild card. They were in a position to make a wild card Gabe's last year. And the year before that, they actually were in first place for a lot of the year. And they had a collapse in August and didn't make the playoffs. So I'm going to ask you, is it the expectation, should it be they make the playoffs? Should that be the expectation for this team? Like, is that fair? I know the division's stacked, but with all these wild cards out there,
Yeah.
should we be expecting them to make the playoffs?
Yes. When you have Bryce and JT and Didi,
Hopefully
and
Reese.
Hopefully. When you got all those guys, you spend on Wheeler.
Mm-hmm.
You still have Nola. A whole year now of Bohm.
Yeah.
You have him for the whole season.
Forgot
now.
about Bohm. Doesn't he look like a young Jason Worth?
He does. He looks just like
Like he looks like even the sleeves. Like Jason Worth used to wear the longer
Yes.
sleeves, the longer hair. He reminds me of Jason Worth so much.
He
The way he swings, the way he runs, everything reminds me of Jason Worth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Young Jason Worth,
And what he
not
has.
Jesus Jason Worth. So, you mentioned all of that. You mentioned all of the pieces. I also believe, too, I think it's a fair expectation to expect them to make the playoffs, especially how close they've came the past couple of years. They just got to finish. They haven't finished. Baseball is the most important month besides obviously the playoffs in October is September. You got to finish. And like there's two people when I think of finishing that I need more from in these months. I need more from Aaron Nola, number one. Aaron Nola has not closed.
That's fair.
Aaron Nola has not closed at all. Here's going into this season, Zach Wheeler's the ace to me. I think Wheeler's your one, Nola's your two. That's what I want. I don't think Nola's going to have to show me and prove to me that he's a one. I think Wheeler has more one than Nola does. Because Wheeler, to me, I feel is just a more consistent. And Aaron Nola, to me, his stuff is more presents, like, he's more finesse.
Yeah.
I don't want to say Greg Maddux because he has way better fastball than Greg Maddux had. Like, Nola can get, on a good day, Nola can get 95. But his stuff in all together is much more of a finesse package, where Wheeler is just flame throwing.
Yeah, he's just throwing
Like
heat.
Wheeler's just throwing flames at you, and he has that one appeal where I don't know that Nola does. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back to that because we got a special guest on the line. Segment brought to you by No Cat, the Realest Segment Ever. We got Chad on the line for the Realest Podcast Ever. What's up?
Hey, what's up, fellas? Good morning.
Good morning to you,
What's
man.
going on?
Yeah, I heard you guys talking baseball. I'm like, yeah, let me stay out of this. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, it's the old man in me. It's the old man in me.
Yeah, I mean, once upon a time when I used to do corporate sales, we had season tickets. We go to Phillies games and all that, like right after they won the championship, stuff like that. Like I was really into it. Now I just have no idea what's going on. I know like 4 players maybe.
Yeah, when I was growing up, I was the only person in my family that even cared a little bit about baseball. I would drag my I'm originally from North Philly, so like I was like literally dragging my family down to Veterans Stadium and go watch the Phillies and the Braves. And they were like, "What are we watching these sport for? What is this?" I'm like, "Yo, man, baseball's lit. Get with it."
Yeah, no, it's definitely a great game. I just, the pandemic and just all the just random nonsense. I haven't kept up with it probably in about 2 years now.
So we missed you. So listen, we missed you a couple weeks ago. And I had a burning question for you that I'm going to bring to you now. So I know you know about the versus battles, right?
Yes.
So there's some posthumous verses that are being discussed. The first one I want to bring is one that, I mean, when you talk about posthumous hip hop, this has to happen, and it's Biggie versus Tupac. What do you see there? Who takes that?
I've seen, people have done these, have done some of these mock verses and stuff like that.
Right.
And one of them had like Tupac like annihilating Biggie, which I think is like ridiculous.
Wow.
But,
yeah, I don't see that.
I think it's I think it's a very even matchup. I think Tupac has more music to pull from. Doesn't necessarily mean he has better music.
Right.
But one thing I can say for Tupac is that his highs are really, really high. Same thing with Biggie, but
right.
Tupac has a big catalog of music, but his highs are really, really high. He has like genre defining songs, Dear Mama,
right.
Brenda's Got a Baby, stuff like that he's able to pull from. But Biggie's lyrical ability, his wittiness, his creativeness, and his storytelling ability, I just don't necessarily know that some of those records, hold up against him. So I'm going to give that to Biggie. I think it's close. I think it's probably like a 11-9, 12-8 battle either way. But yeah, I saw one that had Tupac like annihilating Biggie like 15-5, and I'm just like,
that's absurd.
Y'all are stupid.
Yeah,
I was mad at the internet.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I would have thrown my remote from my television. But here's the way I look at it is like I think the first 10, Tupac is very competitive. He might even be winning the first 10. But however, like you said, because Dear Mama, California Love, Brenda's Got a Baby, I Get Around, like Tupac has big hammers. However, I think where Biggie has the major advantage is I don't know that you're messing with a better B-side catalog than Biggie. Like Biggie's B-sides, like I Got a Story to Tell, What's Beef,
Unbelievable and Kicking the Door with Premier.
Exactly. Like The What with Method Man
that he can pull from.
Yeah, he has. I mean, the original One More Chance, but not even the remix. He can throw on the original and then throw on the remix for his hammers. So his B-sides. So that second 10, I think Tupac would struggle to keep up with, because I just don't feel that his B-sides are nearly as strong as Biggie's. I think once you get past the hits with Tupac, a lot of those records people don't care about or really don't know. Exactly.
And I think that his personality and his status is bigger than a lot of his catalog. Like, so once you get past like that first 15 or so records that we all know and love,
right,
it gets murky because a lot of those songs are really the same song. If you are a real Tupac fan and you've heard those records, they're all the same song outside of the big ones.
Right. I get killed a lot because I have the opinion that Tupac is overrated. Doesn't mean I don't think he's great, but I think people put him in a category. Justin and I were talking earlier about most influential NBA players, and I think with certain people, you throw everything into a blender and make it one thing. Like with Tupac, people put his activism, his acting, his charisma, along with his catalog.
He shot a cop that time.
Right, and that has nothing to do with his music.
It's like, well, what about the actual records? No, this is record stuff, and it's like, no, it's not.
Right. Him getting shot 5 times in a lobby has nothing to do with his music.
Yeah, he went to jail a bunch of times. It's like, all of that. Like, I'm like, no, this. Yeah. What about the music?
Right. That means nothing. That means nothing to me. That stuff's cool for that conversation of we talk about his influence, but that has nothing to do with his actual music. All right. So the next one I want to get to is this one. This one is really near and dear to my heart because this is like my 2 children. Really. This is Michael versus Prince.
Oof.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Growing up, I was a Michael Jackson kid.
Same.
I had the Moonwalker video. I had,
Same.
All the Bad album that I used to play on my grandmother's record player, like literally. And then once CDs came out, my grandmother and my mother rebought everything for me. So I grew up a Michael guy.
Right.
Being an adult now, you realize that Prince was equally as incredible as Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
The talent portion of it, as far as instrumentation, production, songwriting, and all of that, is equal to what Michael did with songwriting and like vocal production. Like, so they
Yes.
were equally like titans of what they do.
Absolutely.
With that being said, Thriller is like impossible to beat.
Mhm.
So it's like,
As
if
an
you
album,
run off the 7 number ones from that album, it's like, all right,
Even the B-sides.
where do we go from here?
He throws on Baby Be
Yeah,
Mine,
right.
it could be over. You might have to unplug the Wi-Fi.
And it's like, Michael, I think, has more music to pull from because he can go back to that Jackson 5 catalog. Like, there's just so much meat on the bone there. And then even still, his later stuff, like Keep It in the Closet and stuff like that, are some of my favorite songs of all time. So
Yeah. Well,
I just think it's hard to anything involving music. It's hard to beat Michael Jackson. As much as I love Prince now and have grown to appreciate him, like you can't beat Mike. Sorry.
With Michael Jackson, I literally on Tidal, I have 3 playlists. I have a Jackson's playlist where stuff he did with his family and the family list. Then I have I call it The Road Less Traveled, which is his B-sides. Then I have the Hammers. Each of these playlists are all like 3 hours long. Like, that just goes to show you like the extensive catalog. It's just too much. It's like, and like, you're absolutely right. I'm gonna go back to what you said originally because it's so true. So they had very different philosophies. Like Mike said, he had a quote where he said like, "Yo, I do my music where I want people from the ages of 8 to 80 to be able to hum my melodies." Where Prince was for the grown folks. Like, did you like? I didn't know what Little Red Corvette meant at 5 years old. I had like, what we talking about a car? I don't know. Like a lot of that music was over our heads because Prince was appealing to a very different demographic. Like for people, like I'm sure for if you were 18 to 25 in the 80s, this might be a different conversation for you for Prince and Mike. For me, I was a kid, so I wanted the leather jacket, I wanted the glove, I wanted all the Mike-isms to go along with the music. So that's why I think for us, if you grew up an 80s baby as a kid, Mike's your guy, and that's never going to change. But now as an adult, like you said, I appreciate Prince so much more now than I did when I was younger because I understand the content way more because I'm an adult now. I get it now.
Yeah.
So, but like you said, I can't have said it better than you did. Mike's catalog is just what are you going to do with that? Like he can get you anyway. Like I said, you want to go, I Want You Back. You want to Baby Mike, I Want You Back. You want to go Top the Love You Save.
Yeah.
You want to go the Bad album, Thriller album, Dangerous, Off the Wall. Like it's just too much music, and no one Prince or no one else can really do with that.
Mike's probably like one of like 3 or 4 artists that could literally do a 50 song like versus battle and it won't be no drop off.
Yeah, I would want if Mike did a versus, we can't do 20 songs. I'm gonna need more because he's gonna leave so much on the table that I want to hear that I need more. You got to do 40, 50 songs, and how many artists can really do like maybe like honestly a more interesting matchup really if you want to go catalog for catalog, and Mike stole a win. I put Mike up against Beyonce.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
I go Mike because you look at Beyonce's catalog. She has the group stuff. She has the single stuff. She has the collabs. Beyonce has an extensive catalog. Like, my fiance thought she didn't like Beyonce until I threw on my playlist. She's like, "Oh, I like this song. I like this song. Oh, I like this song. I like this." I'm like, "Yeah, you like Beyonce." Yeah. It's very easy to say I hate Beyonce.
You like 45 of these.
Yeah, right. Beyonce's one of those artists. Very easy to say I don't like her. We throw her in music, I guarantee you the party gonna get jumping. And like she's a person that can compete with him. That's about it.
When it comes to Beyonce, I think that for as much as she's done and accomplished, I think she's still underappreciated because she's just like with a shitty record label that like literally drops the ball every single release. Right. And she's never had like that million in a week sales type of thing and this and this, but her influence is so huge and so so big for this time period. And you see it when it's like she toured football stadiums. You know what I'm saying? It's like certain things that she does, like it doesn't really register when then you realize, like, oh, she's one of the most bootlegged artists of all time, and that's why her sales aren't necessarily where they need to be, even though she still sells a ton of records.
Yeah.
But she's just never had that, like, that 2 million in a week, 1 million in a week, or whatever.
Right.
And ultimately, she deserves that. She's come close.
Yeah.
But, you know, routinely, like, we saw the 4 albums get leaked, like, to the point where she had to start doing surprise drops and stuff like that because Columbia is just a shitty record label. But it doesn't take away from the fact that, like, every single album is fantastic. She has an excellent catalog.
And on top of that, one of the greatest live performers ever. Like Beyonce, I don't think she gets enough credit for how great she is on stage. Like, she is a great performer.
She's doing 2-hour sets and she's singing, dancing the whole time. Like, intricate choreography.
Yeah.
When she came to Philly and did the show at the Link, it was pouring down rain and she's fucking dancing in high heels.
Yeah, in heels. And she the legend of her, one of the urban legends, is that to train to get ready for a performance, she runs on a treadmill full speed while singing her catalog. Like, you imagine the breath control to be able to do that. That's absolutely insanity.
Yeah, when I hear something like that, I think about, like, you know, when Kanye West said he had to deal with Nike, and they were like, well, you know, he's like, well, how come I can't get a royalty? And he said, you know, you're not an athlete. He said, I'm a performance athlete. So when I hear something like that about Beyonce, like, that's what I think. Like, I'm a performance athlete. I go 1 on none every night.
Right. Exactly. Right. So, yeah, man. I would love to see those matchups. Give me a. I know it's top of the dome, but give me a matchup of verses that we haven't seen yet that you would want to see. Something we haven't seen yet.
I want to see some of the younger guys do verses. In a short amount of time, it could be any combination of these three. In a short amount of time, all of these guys have kind of like racked up an extensive catalog because of how music has changed.
Yeah.
So I would like to see some combination of Lil Baby, NBA YoungBoy, and Lil Durk do a verses because they all got a boatload of music. They put out probably about 7 or 8 projects each since 2017. YoungBoy probably has 30 projects since 2017.
Absolutely.
17.
Yeah.
So I would love to see him, particularly in a versus setting, to see what he feels like are the cream of the crop records, because it gets hard to like navigate through some of that stuff as a fan. I would love to see what he would like pick as his top 20 to do a versus with, because he's got a ton of records. Number 1 on YouTube every week. Lil Baby routinely top 3 on YouTube. Lil Durk, same thing.
Young Thug's another one I like to get in there.
The biggest, I think Young Thug, people underestimate exactly how many like hit records Young Thug has.
Oh yeah.
And it's like once you start getting into like, you know, top 10s, I think he's got like 6 or 7 Billboard top 10s, and he's got like another like 20 that are like the hip hop chart and stuff like that. Young Thug is almost like is one of those guys that's like hard to beat in a versus. And I would love to see Future beat the shit out of somebody in a versus, because like that's what's going to happen. Somebody's going to get embarrassed.
Oh my god, yeah. Future is like the Ludacris of this generation, where I think people on like when Luda battled Nelly, like that was kind of set up to be Nelly's moment.
I can't lie. I was on the Nelly side, and
a lot of people were.
And super wrong.
And Luda punched him in the face repeatedly.
Super passionate and super wrong.
Yeah, Luda. I think people forgot, and Future kind of had that same kind of thing where Future's gonna throw in some stuff, and you're gonna be like, "Whoa!" Like he gonna hit you with that. I'm on that good cushion alcohol, and your hair's gonna stand like, "Whoa!" You know, so like, yeah, that's definitely one. But yo, what you got for us this week?
This week, man, what I want to talk about a little more serious. Where the hell is my stimulus at? All I want to know is we've been being sold for the last 2 years of this Biden campaign that once the Democrats get in, it's going to be different, blah, blah. Then the pandemic hit, and then our United States government had to kind of like adjust on the fly and kind of figure out a way to look out for the people. So we got our original stimulus back, and I want to say May or April That was the $1,200 stimulus, which, at the time it wasn't much, but we'll take it. Then, toward the end of the year, there started to be all these talks about, we're going to another stimulus, blah, blah, it's going to be like robust and this. And, Trump, then Trump, in his last ditch effort to get reelected, he started throwing out the 2000. And that was his thing every day on Twitter. 2000. And then at the last minute, December 27th, they ended up getting the CARES Act approved, and everybody got $600.
Right.
And at that time, Trump is still every day on Twitter up until the inauguration, 2000. And everybody's like, yeah, if the Democrats are in there, it's going to be different. We won't have to pull all this, all this.
Look what happened in Atlanta.
And all of this stuff. And we'll give people, we'll give people what they need and blah, blah, blah. And the Democrats wanted to give us $5,000. And it's like all of these urban legends that they were rolling out. And Biden literally said, the first day I get in office, you're getting either a $2,000 stimulus or the balance of whatever is out there if we can't, if the Republicans can't get this approved at the goal line or whatever. It's been about 3 weeks, Joe. I've seen you at the Super Bowl. Been seeing you around, man. You owe me $1,400, my brother, and I want my money. So this is an APB to the Democrats. You have the even vote in the Senate now. You don't have to go through all these filibusters and all this nonsense. Where's my stimmy?
So to your point, I wanted to make sure this was factual. I want to put in perspective what's going on around the rest of the world. So, stimulus packages around the rest of the world. The UK, 80% of their worker salaries. Denmark gave 75% of the worker salaries. South Korea, 70% of the worker salaries. Netherlands, 90%. Canada's doing $2,000 a month since this all started. Australia, $1,000 a month since it all started. So far in the United States, we've received a grand total of $1,800 and, I guess the unemployment benefits, you say. But, yeah, I mean, it's a valid point. And a lot of these Democrats ran on the ticket of stimulus. Just going back to last month, the whole thing was, we need to flip the seats. Well, people went out and voted and supported and overtook Georgia, which is a historically red state, flipped that around to Democrat, and yet still here we sit with no stimulus. A lot of talk, still no stimulus.
And then when you look at how they flipped Georgia in terms of like who took those seats, you got the first Jewish senator, I believe, in Georgia history, and the first black senator in Georgia history, and it still ain't enough to get these people paid, man.
Right,
it's crazy.
Right. Yeah, so
they wanted progressive. They wanted progressive. We went ultra progressive.
Absolutely.
And we still ain't get our stick.
Absolutely. We still sit here with no stimmies. But listen, man, we appreciate you for hopping on with us. Where can we find you?
No doubt, gentlemen. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram at officialtrpe. That's the social media handles for the page. You can find my personal page on Instagram is plus.ceo. And that's pretty much it, man. The Realest Podcast Ever, each and every Monday on all podcast platforms, and every Wednesday we drop our video on YouTube. Just search TRPE, and we're also on Roku TV and Amazon Fire Stick on NGTV Network.
Okay, flexing on them. I like it. All right, so we'll see you next week, same time. Sound good?
All right, sounds good, man. Thanks, guys. Have a good show.
You too.
All right, catch you.
Chad wants to know where his stemmies are.
I want to know. I want to know where the stemmy is too.
Like, this is not a political show, obviously, but like, this is it for me in the Democrat Party. If they don't get it right here, I'm out. I vote independent anyway. But like, this is my last support of you. If you don't figure it out now, I'm out. When we come back, I want to get back into baseball because we're talking Phillies. So let's get back into that. I also want to talk Jason Tatum and COVID because he said something wild yesterday that I don't believe me. I'm going to say, I'm not going to put everybody on it, but me personally, I'm not thinking enough of. I feel like we need to pay more attention to stuff like this.
And we got hockey and all too.
We got hockey and all. We got breakfast bars. We got a lot to do. We got a lot to do before lunch.
We got to hurry up.
Brown Emery in the morning. Marcus Brown, Justin Emery. We'll be right back. So we were talking before the break, before Chad jumped on about the Phils and reasonable expectations for this year. I was talking about the Nola being this is a big year for him. I believe Wheeler is my 1. I believe Nola is my 2. I would rather see Wheeler start opening day than Nola. I think Nola is more on the 2 range than the 1. I think they've tried to position him to be 1 in the last couple of years. I don't think it's worked out in their favor. He's also been a guy that's burnt out. Like he got to August, and his September has not been great. And he at times can be dominant, but I need him to finish this year. We need you to finish because Noah's had some very big starts the past couple of years, and it has not gone well later in the year with him with the big starts. Another guy is Rhys Hoskins. It's a big year for him also. Who is Rhys Hoskins? Will the Rhys Hoskins please stand up? Who are you? What are you? Here's what I want you to be. I think fair numbers for Rhys Hoskins for me is between 265 and 273. I'll take 27 to 31 home runs. I'll take in the high 90s RBIs. That to me will be enough protection for Harper and Realmuto. I think that's a good place to be. I think you might want to hit if I'm the Phillies, I might hit Rhys. I might go Rhys, Harper, Realmuto. Because Realmuto and Harper are going to hit regardless of what's going on around them. I think Rhys needs to see some fastballs. I think they tried to put Rhys in a cleanup spot behind to protect Harper. So it wasn't working out. So maybe if you put Rhys in the 2, maybe there's less pressure for him. Because the 2 has become kind of a power slot now in today's baseball. So
I'm not putting him at 2.
So where you going cleanup still?
No, I'm gonna put him at 5.
So who are you hitting 2? Are you going bomb?
You gotta figure.
Bomb. Boom.
Well, is Bohm a power hitter? I don't believe.
Bohm is everything. Bohm can hit for. See, we haven't seen him a full season, so we don't really know. He can hit for power. He can hit
So
home
like,
runs.
so
but I think he's more of a Jason Worth. To me, he is like a Jason Worth. Where,
so actually, no. This is what I would do. I would have either Didi or Scott Kingery be my leadoff. One of the two of them. Whoever's not my leadoff is my number 2.
so Kutch. So Kutch is your 2 now.
No. I say Kingery or
So Kutch
or
usually
Didi.
Kutch has been leading off a lot. That's been the leadoff guy.
Yeah, but I can't count on him to be an everyday player.
Okay.
So I'm not counting him as an everyday player.
Okay.
I look at him as a 60 to 70% starter.
I mean, Kingery's gonna be battling for a job too. Like to me, he's another guy. Who are you? I don't know who you are. Like he's a guy that's looked great in stretches. He had a really bad year last year.
Because I'll keep Harper at 3. Because I don't think he's a number. I don't think he can be a cleanup hitter.
Yeah.
He's a number. I keep him at 3. I put Real Muto at 4.
Okay.
And I put Hoskins at 5. But the caveat to that is Bohm's power hitting.
Yeah.
I reserve the right to put Bohm at 4. Then put Real Muto at 5, and I bump Hoskins all the way down to 6.
Honestly, in my dream world, I want Real Muto hitting 5. I think that's a perfect spot.
I think so too. I think he should be hitting 5.
I think Harper should be your 3.
Bohm should.
Bohm could be your 4.
If he
Real
can.
Muto 5.
No. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, and Hoskins 6.
Yeah. And let Hoskins I just don't know if Hoskins
Like,
is a guy can get your 2 to 6.
To the
2 to 5. I'm sorry.
Like I think back to the stretch where it was Utley, Howard, Burrell, Worth.
Yeah.
That 4
Yeah.
person spot in the lineup was a problem.
Right, and you got Rollins and Victorino setting the table.
Yeah.
Or Rollins and Worth before Burrow in 2008 years. Rollins or Worth or Rollins and Victorino.
Yeah, and the other one would bat 6.
Right.
And your 7th with Pedro Feliz,
Mm-hmm.
8, obviously, Chooch.
Yeah.
And 9 was pitcher.
Right.
So I would like to see a 3, 4, 5, 6 makeup of Harper, Real Muto, Bohm, and Hoskins.
And we're gonna need I don't want to nitpick here with Harper, but I need more consistency.
I need MVP season.
We can't have the 3 to 4 weeks of nothing. Because it's been a lot of swoons with him. Like you go back to his first year here, he was white hot in April, got off to a great start, had a pretty good May, but then disappeared for the month of June and part of July, and then he came back a little bit later on in the season. We can't have that. I need you to be consistently great, because this lineup can't have those types of lapses.
I agree.
And honestly, whether it's fair or not, but you were playing the role of Chase Utley. That's who you're supposed to be in this lineup.
Yeah.
That's what we need you to be. We need you to be all of it. Power, speed, average. We need all of it. I can't have you hitting 230 with 35 home runs. That doesn't do anything for me. We need you to be 280, 35 home runs.
Yeah.
That's where I need you to be. So I'm excited about the team because I always am. I think they are a playoff team. I think the expectations are reasonable for them to make the playoffs. And in this landscape of how baseball seems to be doing their playoffs, the Phillies should make the playoffs. I want to move on to circle back to the NBA because Jason Tatum said something very interesting. So basically, here's what's going on. I want to set this up. So Celtics are not playing very well. They are struggling big time. Jason Tatum was out with COVID for a couple weeks. He just recently came back. And he was asked by a reporter, is he still feeling the effects of COVID? And, how's he adjusting? So this is Jason Tatum talking about his adjustment to COVID.
Hey, Jason, have you been experiencing any kind of repercussions from the COVID when you were fighting with that? Is there any lingering effect from that?
I think it messes with your breathing a little bit. I have experienced some games where don't want to say struggling to breathe, but you get fatigued a lot quicker than normal. Just running up and down the court a few times, it's easier to get out of breath or tired a lot faster. I've noticed that since I've had COVID, and it's just something I'm working on. It's gotten better, since the first game I played, but I still deal with it from time to time.
Gary Washburn.
Yikes. Listen, like this is one of the. I don't want to speak for anyone else. I'll speak for myself. This to me was terrifying, and it was a real eye-opening for me in a sense that like this is something me personally I haven't really been thinking about, and like I know we don't know the long-term effects of COVID and what it does to your body, and we won't know that for 5 years plus, but I think of guys like Steph Curry and what he's kind of been going through, coming back and dealing with it, and I just sports is so important. We talked about the other day how important sports is to the landscape of America. Like we are a capitalist society, and sports is a big part of our money making machine. And like when it comes for you and I, yeah, we do this based on sports. And if sports was yanked out of the landscape, our show would look very different. And I just wonder, like, at the end of the day, these guys are human beings before sports. And I hear a comment like that, and I think about that, and it's like, and what I'm about to say, obviously I wish on nothing to happen in the NBA or anything like that, but I'm just thinking, like, you got a guy in a game that's come back from COVID, and you don't know what's going on inside of his body. He, collapses on the floor, running down the floor. What do we do? And how we feel if we're doing that. Like, this conversation for me, basically, it's like, are we being selfish by having these guys go out here, especially after enduring and going through this? And then you have these guys who, like, Jason Tatum hasn't looked like himself. We could test that here. Seth Curry has not been Seth Curry since he got back from COVID. He's had flashes a couple times, but, like, you saw, like, even, like, the idea of a couple weeks ago, I think it was against the Blazers, where he left the game because he wasn't feeling well. What does that mean? And I'm looking at this from a human being standpoint. After I heard that, it did something different to me. It hit different, him saying that. And, like, I just wonder, like, are we doing the right thing by allowing these guys to go out there and continue to play in the landscape of all this, especially after enduring the disease?
You know how you can solve this is make the vaccine available for them.
Yeah, but
I shouldn't say solve. One of the ways you can help.
That's going to help, but that doesn't necessarily solve the problem.
Especially
if you've already had it.
This just goes back to my, what we said the other day, as to where, they're not healthcare workers, but they are on a front line.
Yes.
They're traveling around from city to city, interacting with people outside of their inner circle.
Right.
And you're just leaving them basically sitting ducks to catch the virus.
Yep. And, yeah.
I mean, now you had said this isn't something that you had thought about. Now, I have, kicked around that idea before, so it didn't catch me off guard the same way that it caught you off guard.
Mm-hmm.
But only because I've learned to not be surprised by the leagues about anything. Like, nothing that any of the sports leagues do surprise me anymore. Unfortunately, I wish I was wrong, and that things like this would surprise me. I'm not, though. Like we've been saying it. There's some dents in the armor of the NBA, and this is just another one. And some of it comes down to you don't hear. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's. what I'm saying it's going to be now slightly hypocritical because of what's going on with the Flyers, but the NHL doesn't have this problem. Now, I mean, understand the Flyers right now do, but the NHL as a whole does not have this problem. The NFL had this problem a little bit, but they got that sorted out.
They fought through it.
They got it sorted out and kept moving on. Baseball, same thing. They had this issue
early on.
Yeah. Why is it that the NBA is going the other direction? They're getting worse.
Yeah. And the NBA, it seemed when it's first with the bubble and everything, the way they set everything up, they seemed light years ahead
of everything.
And it seems like I don't know if it gave them a sense of arrogance, and then when they came back, they kind of were like, "We'll be fine. We had it before. It'll be okay." And but I feel like now they've taken so many steps backwards, and the way they're handling this with the players, it's almost coming off that we don't care.
Yeah.
Like when you got a guy telling you, "Listen, man, I came back, but I'm having, I want to say I'm struggling to breathe, but my breathing is hampered." That's an issue. And you're hearing a lot, the whole, everything, all encompassing with the NBA, the way they're dealing with COVID now. It's strange because it seems like this is their first time dealing with COVID.
We're talking about professional athletes at the peak of human physical conditioning.
Right.
I mean, NBA players are amongst the best athletes on the planet.
Correct.
Football players, basketball players, hockey, there's different levels of athlete depending on what sport you play, but the NBA is towards the top of that list.
I would agree.
And they're having so what does that tell you about the average, person that has it?
Right.
If the professional athletes are struggling with it.
Right. Right. I mean, it's terrifying to me. Like him describing this and how he still is struggling to feel like Jason Tatum, feel like himself.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't have this wasn't something I brought up because I have the answers, because I don't have the answers, and I don't know what to say about this, but I just know it's something that I wanted to discuss and throw out there because it definitely affected me, and it should affect you out there, knowing that this is the reality of the situation.
Yeah. But yeah, we talked about some board games earlier today.
We did.
We are going to have that Monopoly show off.
Yes.
Showdown, I should say.
Monopoly Showdown. The undefeated streak on the line.
Yes. But let's go from one game to another that we play.
I like it.
You know what?
It is that time, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes.
Now, we usually do it Thursdays, but obviously today's our Thursday and Friday.
Correct.
So, it's time for the music.
It's time. And it's also time for hockey or no. Justin doesn't know hockey, doesn't know movies.
I had a good showing last week, though.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Had a good showing last week.
Let me get my pen out so I can keep track of of what happens here.
I had a good showing.
All right. You ready?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. First name I got for you. Taylor Hall. Hockey or no?
Hockey?
Hockey it is. Look at you, 1 for 1.
The thing is, there's so many halls in the league. I figured I might as well roll the dice and get one right.
Hockey or no? Sam Reinhart.
Is that hockey? That's hockey.
That is correct.
See, the thing is, unique last name sticks out.
All right, ready? Hockey or no? Tobias Ryder.
Not Tobias Harris, right?
Not Tobias Harris.
Tobias Ryder. Yo, I'm gonna stay on the train. 3 in a row at hockey.
Look at you! Look at you! 3 for 3. Hockey or no? Jason Clark.
Oh man. No.
4 for 4. Whoa. Wow. Hockey or no? Jeff Skinner.
Oh,
Will he make it 5 for 5?
Who is it?
Jeff Skinner.
Jeff
Hockey or
Skinner?
no? Yep.
Hockey?
That is correct! Hockey or no?
Thing is, people are going to think I'm cheating. They don't realize I'm sitting here with my
Yeah.
hand with my arms crossed.
Yeah, I am across the table, paper upright, to make sure there's no compromise in the system. Hockey or no? Carl Urban.
No.
That is correct. We need to stop right now for a second and recognize you were 6 for 6 today. A full perfect percent.
Yo, what I tell you, same game gems in the building.
Look at you. Hockey or no? Adam Driver.
Oh, I have no. Hockey.
That is incorrect.
Ah.
He's a no. All right, last one of the week. You ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hockey or no? Matt Irwin.
Not Steve Irwin, right?
No. Lake Ray Crocodile Hunter, no.
Does he play hockey?
He plays hockey.
I feel like you tried to get me on him. I feel like you got me trying to get me on him before.
Yeah. So, look at you.
7 for 8.
Yeah, 7 for 8.
Woo.
Best
Hey.
percentage of to date.
Oh, if we were on FanDuel, I get the insurance back.
You would get your insurance back. Mm-hmm. That's a good job by you. And you were close. You were close to going perfect. Proud of you.
I needed a strong.
You needed a strong week.
The first couple ones were so
the first couple
bad.
ones were rough. You needed a
They
strong
were
week.
so bad.
Good job by you.
Oh, thank you. I tried. I mean, I really guessed, but I guessed right.
Hey, sometimes you gotta fake it till you make it. You know.
Yeah. Like I said, people were sitting here. Oh, he's sitting there reading the answers. No, I'm across the table.
Absolutely not. I'm far too
Nothing.
competitive for that,
Nothing in my hands.
I'm gonna look at the calendar real quick.
Okay.
Before we get a break. Today is the 17th of February.
Correct. National Cabbage Day for anybody out there who likes
Ew.
cabbage. Yeah, I know. I hate
Gross.
cabbage.
I hate cabbage too. 17th of February. Is Carson Wentz still an Eagle?
He's still an Eagle. As of 11:46 a.m. today, he is still on payroll and under the roster of the Philadelphia Eagles.
A little birdie told me he was going to be traded about 10 days ago.
Do you think? Let's do a thing every show. At the end of every
Carson
week.
get traded yet?
No, we'll do it at the end of every week. Do you think on Monday when we come in here, Carson will still be an Eagle?
Yes.
I do too.
Yes. Listen, we said it. We feel, both of us, that he is going to be here until at least March, if he is traded at all.
Well, March 17th, I believe it is, March 19th.
That's when the money kicks in for him?
That's the doomsday. Yeah. So I'm gonna say if it happens March, the week of March 5th.
Yeah.
No. I'll say the week of March 8th it happens.
If it happens at all, we don't know.
We
have no idea.
At all.
We don't know
if it happens at all.
If it happens at all. But when we come back, remember today is our Thursday and Friday. So on Friday we do the breakfast bars. So bars on the other side. Brad Emery in the morning. Marcus Brown, Justin Emery. We will be right back. Hi, I'm Marcus Bradham. I'm here to talk to you today about Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium-quality gourmet ice cream and sorbet. Made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available, Uncle Mike features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road in Warminster. It's open all year round, serving you happiness one scoop at a time. Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys today about my friends at Amy's Pizza. Amy's has a plethora of pizza for your munching pleasure, specialty pizzas such as Hawaiian, margarita, taco, and plenty more. If it's sandwiches you're into, they've got those too. Cheesesteaks, burgers, hoagies, even gyros. Amy's offers pickup and takeout options, but they are also available on Grubhub. Amy's is located at 332 York Road in the heart of Hatboro. Call them at 215-957-1000. Again, that's 215-957-1000. February 17th, 2021, and Carson Wentz is still a Philadelphia Eagle.
At 11:51, he is still an Eagle.
Just pointing it out there for everybody.
Yeah.
So this week,
Got to own your wrong takes sometimes.
you got to own it. Failure. What did my goat tell you?
It happens.
I
It
succeed.
happens.
I succeed because I failed. That's all. That's all we're saying. I don't think it's that difficult. So we got pitcher catchers today. That's a good thing. I'm
Yep.
excited about that. I'm excited about Monopoly coming up.
Yo, that Monopoly showdown.
Yeah, it's gonna be epic.
We'll find a way to fill out the remaining
Yeah.
spots.
Yeah.
It'll be a whole big thing.
I want heavyweights.
Yeah, and then I can't wait to go home with the belt.
I mean, you come visit it at my house. I mean, you're
Listen,
here every day.
Listen, whenever I come over to do the show, I will bring the belt and leave it on the table so you can look at it.
It's nice. You can take a picture with you. We'll put a picture of the mantle for you.
I appreciate that.
You're very welcome. But also, hopefully I come back on Monday in one piece. As I said, I'm doing little mountain ventures.
Yeah.
I don't know. I used to actually. Fun fact: I used to actually be a pretty good snowboarder.
Okay.
However, I haven't been on a snowboard in like 15 years. And I got off to a good start. Like I was
that
doing
could be
a lot.
interesting.
I was doing a lot. Like, because if you ask me, of the two, I think snowboarding is the one that you can prevent injuries more. I'll put it that way. Like skiing is terrifying because the thing about skiing is there's no good way to fall. Like sometimes when you're learning how to snowboard and everything, it's like you get on there, but like sometimes you don't know how to stop, so you have to fall. So you can fall in ways to protect yourself. You can fall on your back, which is a good place to fall. Where skiing, you're just going forward to the face. Like this is not like you can't. And honestly, you shouldn't even do that because of the skis. So you can really, really hurt yourself skiing.
I can imagine that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get my white man on for the next couple days.
Good luck. You gotta let me know how that goes for you.
But listen,
you know I'm against seasons. So.
Yeah, you're anti-season. I know. So listen, you know what it is. Breakfast bars. We got my man, actually former intern of the previous Give and Go podcast. You might know him as Chris Brown, Young Breezy. Scary Allen is on the line. What up, bro?
What up? What's going on, fellas?
Long time, man.
What's going on?
I want to say it's good to be back. Yeah, right?
Yeah, you back into it again, man. Like, the last time we were talking, we were discussing Tekashi's trial. That man home.
Right. What a time. It's been 2018. I remember I said something crazy like the Black Panther album was the best album of 2018.
Right. And here we are.
Crazy.
So, first of all, we always like to give the people the opportunity to promote any projects you got coming up, any songs you got dropping. What's good?
So I'm doing something crazy this year, 2021. I'm just trying to drop a song every week for the next 40 weeks we still have left.
Wow.
Even if it's a remaster of an old song, I'm just doing some work. My Instagram is ScaryAllen_. Okay. And then my Twitter is Allen Scary, just flipped.
I like it.
Check me out.
I like it. So, you know why you're here, right?
Yes, sir.
You're here for these bars. So what we're going to do is we're going to let the people know where you can find us. And when you hear that beat, you just go. All right? Sound good?
I got you. Let's
All right. Follow me at Marcus B. Tweeting everywhere.
At Justin Emery Show. Catch me on Twitter. Don't worry with the IG. Not important.
Follow the show at Brad M. Emery Pod everywhere. And until next week, you could be with us or you'll be against us, but you're never going to stop us. Have a great weekend. Carson Wentz will still be an Eagle on Monday.
We got a beat? Oh, shit. I can only kind of hear it. I got nothing. I can't hear any of it. Still hot, Kill Bill, Ill Will Cop. Real life feeling like a black mirror. Time to get wild, but my vision's getting clearer. Fuck 2020, I can see into the future. Who could take a break and say top 10? It's not them. Used to scheme, now I'm busy plotting my maneuvers. Yeah, bump, I had to learn it just to that'll do ya. Calling shorty over, she gon' suck it like a Hoover. And that's a little cliche. To see these days, if it sound good, then it don't really fucking matter. Swinging for the fence unless you're just another batter. Drop a track and never hear a chatter. You could write a dissertation on my wordplay and placement. But I ain't shit cause I ain't getting no plays. I'm done treating this rap shit like my gift was a phase. And Scary Allen niggas back on the map. Yeah. I wish I could hear the beat. Shit, let me go back in. Yeah. Disappear, reappeared, and disappear again. New coupe doing donuts like it's enemies. Undrafted, but rapping like he a veteran. Niggas hear me but don't understand the sentiments. Lately, I've been living like I know I'm on the way out. But got a little though, so I don't see why not. Can take it with you. Tempted by security. And see, that's how they get you. Spouting white lies behind us a dog whistle. Can't listen. Chain glisten. Paint dripping. All that half-naked women. Posting everything that comes to mind. That's how I spend my time. But I got to draw the line. And listen, black children, do it all for the people on my Twitter feed, interacting in reality. They're sick of me. Things online ain't all what they pretend to be. If we ain't cool, then we ain't cool. There ain't no friend of me. Appreciate you for indulging in the parable. But check the socials for yourself. The shit is terrible. Everyday squares getting muscles on the keyboard, much less really swing the sword in real life. Tried denial, but I knew this shit ain't feel right. Peek behind the curtain, truth cut you like a steel knife. Gary Allen, spin raps, never carry still. Check my rap genius, baby. Tell me how it make you feel.